We begin in the Middle East and the latest on the Israel-Hezbollah conflict, an escalating cross-border battle that we now know has claimed at least 2 Canadian lives. Global Affairs reported the deaths but gave no details on identities or circumstances. What we do know, however, is that the Israeli military today called up 2 brigades of reservists that it plans to deploy to its northern border. The move potentially involves several thousand soldiers and could signal a ground incursion may be coming. Right now, though, Israel is restricting itself to an aerial bombardment, its warplanes carrying out airstrikes inside Lebanon. At least 51 people have been killed and over 200 others injured in the attacks today, according to the Lebanese Health Ministry. The Israeli Air Force said its missiles hit 280 Hezbollah targets. Many people in the south and east are desperate to find a safe haven.
We estimate approximately 90,000 people have been displaced since Monday. Many fled just with the clothes on their backs. They're without any of their personal belongings, medications. We have children with disabilities who are turning up at shelters that are already full, and parents who are absolutely desperate to find a place of safety and protection for their children.
The need to escape and find shelter is now so great, people are abandoning their country. This was the long lineup of cars packed with people trying to drive across the border into Syria. Israel has also come under attack today. Hezbollah fired dozens of rockets into the northern region, extensively damaging at least 1 home and injuring 2 people. The barrage followed the launch of a ballistic missile towards Tel Aviv, the country's most populous center. For more on all of this, let's turn to the CBC's Sasha Petrusik. He joins us live from Jerusalem. So, Sasha, walk us through the latest on the cross-border exchanges today, including why that ballistic missile intercepted over Israel is raising some concern.
Well, Andrew, it is raising concern because it is the first time that a ballistic missile has been aimed at Tel Aviv, which is obviously one of the most populated parts of this country. It's also the farthest that a ballistic missile has been sent into Israel by Hezbollah. Hezbollah has confirmed that it's the one that fired this, that they're responsible for all of this. So it does mark an escalation in how far Hezbollah is willing to send these missiles and what it's willing to do. That wasn't the only part of the attack, of course. As you mentioned, 300 rockets came across the border, and many of those ended up in the north, in areas that have been under threat for almost a year now, where more than 60,000 people have had to leave. And really, there's been a lot of political pressure on the government to do something about Hezbollah, exactly because those people have not been able to live in border communities and in the north in general for all that time, and there was no end in sight. Now, the prospect is that this same sort of thing could be happening even further south, that perhaps even areas like Tel Aviv could be under threat. It is something that is quite new. It also signals something else from Hezbollah, though, and that is that, until a few weeks ago, neither side really looked like they wanted an all-out war, and Hezbollah especially seemed to be trying to avoid that by targeting mainly military facilities. Today it said that this ballistic missile was actually aimed at the spy agency, at the Mossad in the Tel Aviv area. But it is raising the question whether the militant group in Lebanon is now looking at targeting bigger civilian centers, which would raise a lot more panic down here in Israel.
And Sasha, you've had a background briefing with a senior officer with the Israel Defense Forces. What did you learn about what could be coming next?
Well, Andrew, for weeks now, there's been speculation that this escalating air war that's been going on, all these airstrikes that Israel has been conducting, trying to hit weapons caches and other facilities of Hezbollah, that all of that was going to eventually lead to a ground invasion, something that Israel hasn't done with Lebanon since 2006. But none of that has been confirmed. No senior leaders have actually said that's where we're headed. Well, yesterday, a senior officer of the IDF did tell me that in fact that is exactly what they are prepared for. He said, we're ready to go. They're just waiting for a government go-ahead. And when it comes, not only is it going to be very large, but he said it was going to be more fierce and more lethal than what we have seen in the south in Gaza. Mostly, he said, because in the south, they were constrained by the fact that it is a very densely populated area in Gaza with lots of people, an urban setting, very difficult to fight. This is wide open. It's hills and mountains and a few villages. And most people have actually left the area. 100,000 Lebanese have left that area. Most of the people who are left are believed to be Hezbollah fighters. And Hezbollah has promised Israel that there will be an inferno if they do go across. Those are the words of the leader of Hezbollah. But they are prepared for this. They are saying that they have been training for months. These new reservists who are being sent up there will be added to very elite forces that until recently were in Gaza and clearly are prepared to move in now. In fact, the head of the military today said that that the people, the troops who are up there, should be prepared to go in quite soon. Andrew?
Sasha, thank you. That is the CBC's Sasha Petrusik live in Jerusalem.